Woo! The Habs pick up 3 out of 4 points in their first 2 games back since the break. Yeah! Couple of matinee games for the fans in Montreal. Now, first of all, we got to talk about that loss against the New Jersey Devils. 3-2 for them in overtime. They had no business winning that hockey game, but thanks to some heroics from Nico Hischier, former Halifax Moosehead, and Mackenzie Blackwood, who played a fantastic game in that they do get that extra point in overtime. Now, to start this game, Kotkaniemi was flying out there, shooting the puck. He was all over the ice, tons of high danger scoring chances from him, and he eventually does get the first goal for the Montreal Canadiens after a very nice, hard-working shift from that finish line. Arturi Lehkonen, Yoel Armia, and of course, Kotkaniemi. Yoel Armia has really stood out lately. Big body, forechecking hard, holding guys off with one arm, protecting the puck, going into the dirty areas, into the slot. And we are really starting to see why Jets fans would call him one-man Armia. So thanks to that shift, the puck ends up getting on Kotkaniemi's stick, and he snipes it. What a goal. This kid keeps getting better game after game. The youngest player in the NHL. He currently has 8 goals, 17 assists. He's on pace for 39 points. That is a better rookie season than Alexander Barkov. That's actually better than Alexander Barkov's second year in the NHL. Kotkaniemi is something special, and I am so thankful we got him in that 3rd spot. So after Kotkaniemi gets that first goal for the Montreal Canadiens, Will Butcher ties it up with a nice shot from the point, beating Niemi. We go into the second period, and Deneau gets a tip goal. But before that play was finished, what a nice sauce pass from Max Domi. East-west, pretty much the whole width of the ice, over to Petrie, up in that top corner. He throws it on net down low, and Deneau tips it in to finish off that play. And then we go into the third, and this is where we get the heroics from Nico Hischier. The Habs kind of dipped in that third period. I don't know what it was, but they played fantastic in the first and second, outplaying the New Jersey Devils. But then they dipped in the third, and Nico Hischier took over. Bit of a scramble in front of the net in the slot. Puck ends up on Hischier's stick, and he snipes it. What a shot he has, and we got to see it again in overtime. But before that, Domi hits the crossbar in overtime. Petrie has a nice chance to finish it off, and they could not do it. Nico Hischier ends up flying up the wing and sniping it on Niemi. Some would say maybe Niemi would want that back, but you know, outside of going down a little early, he did play that play quite well, and there's not a surplus of guys in the league that can lift the puck up that high, that precisely, from that in tight. But Nico Hischier is one of those guys. What a talented player he is. They pick up that win. And you know what? I did say the New Jersey Devils had no business winning that game. But the thing is, they are a very underrated team. They are much better than what the standings indicate right now. They underachieved heavily to start the season. But I would not be surprised to see them go on a bit of a miracle run here and try to push for the playoffs. They're a little bit far out now, but keep an eye on them because they're starting to pick up wins and gain that momentum. They are a very good hockey team. So very good for Montreal to pick up a point against them in that game. It was a crucial point, even though they just got the one, because that playoff race is going to be so tight, and the positioning for the playoff race is extremely important as well. I thought Niemi played a very good game, only allowing the two goals in regulation, making some very key saves in the third period. And for the most part throughout the game, I really did think Niemi played well. Stopped a couple breakaways, if I'm not mistaken. The power play looked good against New Jersey, especially early. I'm really liking Kotkaniemi on that right half wall as a shot option. He's showing that he can shoot the puck from that point, but he's also showing that he can play make from that right half wall. We've seen him get the puck through traffic to the other side of the ice, so that is very encouraging to see. And the Habs are also much more willing to pass the puck down low to spread out those penalty killers. So it's really good to see. I would still like to see Phillip Deneau out there on the power play. Maybe we'll see that later on in the season. I still think him taking the faceoffs would be very important because it gives us a good chance to win that first face-off as he's our best guy in the dot. Habs, 39 shots on the New Jersey Devils. Plenty of high danger scoring chances. They were better in the face-off dot as well. 2 for 3 on the penalty kill and 0 for 3 on the power play. Power play played well, but just could not finish the play. So we move on to this game against the Oilers. And what a back check from Jeff Petrie to save that game. If that stays as a 2-on-0 with McDavid and Draisaitl, the game is over. But what a back check from Petrie, and him getting in there and interrupting that play allowed Price to be confident and make those key saves, those very nice saves on Draisaitl and McDavid to keep us in it. And after that, that's when Drouin picks up the puck from Mete, flies down the wing, and keep an eye on Deneau because he drove the net and brought Nugent Hopkins with him, and that opened up the middle of the ice for Drouin, who ends up going straight down the ice, cutting into the middle, bringing Koskinen with him, and fires it to the other side of the net, snipes it to end that game and get both points for the Montreal Canadiens. They are now 29, 18, and 6. Good enough for third in the Atlantic Division. Woo! I love it, and I love the makeup of this squad. To start the game, we get a Weber blast on the power play, which was set up thanks to none other than Jonathan Drouin. Nice little fake slapper from him. Kind of froze the Edmonton Oilers penalty killers momentarily, enough to open up that lane for Weber, and Drouin put it on a platter for him. But later on in the first, Draisaitl ends up with a goal thanks to the Oilers kind of clogging up the slot area in the middle of the ice and just chucking the puck into the crowd, and they get a fluke bounce, and it ends up right on Draisaitl's stick, right on his tape for an empty net. Price had no idea where that puck ended up. It is tied at that point. We go into the second period. Domi picks up a goal down low. He picks up the puck behind the net and ends up finishing it on the wraparound. Even though he was falling, he still manages to hook it into the net past Koskinen. Domi now 17 goals, 30 assists, on pace for 73 points. That would be a career high for him. What a season he is having. Now, that said, he was a little undisciplined in this game against the Oilers. That's something he's got to rein in a bit because this is going to be a very tough stretch, and we can't afford to give up too many power plays on undisciplined plays. I don't mind him being an agitator whatsoever, but you really got to pick your spots, and you can't target superstars like Draisaitl and just grab him by the face and slam him down on the ice. Rein that in a little bit, but man, what a season Domi is having. Shortly after that, McDavid picks one up after yet again the Oilers clog the middle of the ice. Somebody chucks a puck right into the crowd, and the puck ends up going to Nugent Hopkins. But credit to Nugent Hopkins here. He did not rush the play and just chuck it on the net. He found McDavid over to the right and threw the puck to him, and McDavid ends up with an empty net chance, and that's the last thing you want. McDavid finishes it off, and we are tied. Then we get Draisaitl with another one thanks to a nice play from McDavid. What a game he had. The two of them had, and Nugent Hopkins as well played a very fantastic game. McDavid with a little bit of a short draw pass to Nugent Hopkins. He shoots it on net, and a bit of a scramble. Puck ends up to Draisaitl, who finishes that play. Oh, what a nerve-wracking game. 3-2, but with about 6 minutes left. Yes, Spiri, Kotkaniemi. What a play from him. He's behind the net, picks up the puck, and he had a very almost identical play against New Jersey, but he went 5-hole and was stopped. He learns that quickly. I don't know what it is. It is just incredible hockey instinct or what, but what a special talent he is, learning that quick and remembering that. He ends up doing, instead of going 5-hole, he roofs it, top cheese on Koskinen from in tight with the backhand, lifting it up high. Koskinen left that area wide open, and Kotkaniemi exploited it. But to set up that play initially, great breakout pass from Jordy Ben, deserves a ton of credit for that. Really nice, patient breakout. He goes to the right, gets it up to Domi. Domi then over to the left to Tatar. Tatar gets it in deep, and then Tatar stops Koskinen from covering that puck, keeps the play alive, and that's when Domi gets it over to Kotkaniemi, and then he finishes that play. So because of that, we end up going to overtime, and that's when we see the heroics from Petrie, Price, and Jonathan Drouin. What a huge win, especially with Boston winning today and the Leafs winning last night against Pittsburgh. This race is going to be tight. Now, some call-outs here. That Lucic hit on Mete. As much as us as Habs fans can't stand Lucic, I really don't think there was any ill intent there. But the thing is, if that play was going any quicker, Mete could have been seriously injured. That was a very scary fall into the boards. His head getting caught up there. Thank God he came back, because we really needed him to play defensively against Connor McDavid. Mete used his speed perfectly to keep up with Connor McDavid on plenty of plays, and there are not many defenders in this league that can do that, but Mete did it in style with that speed and with that active stick, and managed to not take penalties on it either. So he is going to be an incredibly important asset to the Montreal Canadiens moving forward. That defensive ability from him, thanks to his speed with how quick the league is getting and how quick every team is getting. It's so nice to have a defender like Mete who can keep up with the fastest guys in the league. And eventually his offensive ability will improve over time. But right now, he is a fantastic defenseman for us. I can see him, once he's into his creeping closer to his mid-20s, he'll be a incredibly good two-way forward, putting up some good offensive numbers. It will come. He will eventually score his first NHL goal. Now, Drouin, despite getting a goal and an assist tonight, it's hard to be negative after a win, especially after Drouin picking up 2 points tonight. But the thing is, couple things that have been bothering me from Drouin just a little bit with these last two games. Some costly turnovers in the neutral zone, no-look passes. Got to be careful with those, especially in the neutral zone. If you're going to make no-look passes, save them for the offensive zone. And the other thing, too, is a lot of perimeter play from him still. Now, I don't mind the perimeter play that much, but sometimes you really got to be willing to drive the middle of the ice like he did in that overtime period. But I'd like to see more of that on 5-on-5, because if he can creep into the middle of the ice, that definitely will draw defenders to him, and then he'll have a chance to pass it to one of his line mates. Or if he can get into the middle of the ice, it's an opportunity for him to shoot. And it makes what he's doing a little less predictable. I think guys know at this point he likes skating it around the perimeter, looking for his line mates. So to be a threat to skate into those dirty areas would be huge, and that would do wonders for Drouin's stat line. Byron. That did not look good for Byron, and his reaction to it. He gets hit in the corner from Matt Benning, and he knew right away something was wrong. It's like he felt that feeling before. To me, it looked like maybe his left shoulder got caught up a little bit. He got hit real hard, and he was slamming his fist against the glass. He's making it down the bench, and eventually went to the locker room, but doesn't look good. I would not be surprised for this to be a long-term injury for Paul Byron. No word yet. They're just saying upper body injury, but it did not look good. He had shoulder surgery in the offseason. I'm fairly certain it's that same shoulder, so hopefully that didn't get re-aggravated, but really didn't look good on that play. Can't say enough good things about Jesperi Kotkaniemi. He has been just unbelievable. His improvement from the start of the season until now is unbelievable. I was watching his post-game interview after that New Jersey game, and it's already looking like he's bulking up a little bit. Still the youngest player in the league, but he's even using that strength, willing to throw the body around and get into those dirty areas of forecheck and gather up pucks. He is such a special talent. I don't want to hype him up too much and seem like a homer, but he is borderline generational talent. The way he is playing with limited ice time as the youngest player in the NHL. Man, what a fantastic talent he is. PK has been struggling a little bit lately. They really weren't good against the Oilers. I'd like to see that kind of improve. And the power play definitely has to start finishing more plays. They did get one against the Oilers, but they were 0 for against the Devils. Not only would it help this team's the race to the playoffs to the end of the season, but once you get into the playoffs, your power play has to be operating at least an average rate. You really can't give up opportunities like that and not capitalize on your power plays in the playoffs. So would really like to see this power play to get going, but the thing is it's definitely looked a lot better lately, passing the puck quick. They're willing to shoot. They're moving the puck all over the ice. They're using the entire offensive zone. It seems like they're finding it easier to set up Weber, and I think a big reason for that is Jesperi Kotkaniemi on that right half wall as a major threat to shoot. Like I said, would still like to see Danault out there. Hopefully we will see that towards the end of the season, because his ability to win faceoffs would be very good for this power play. It would give us a much better chance to start power play strong if Phillip Danault is taking those faceoffs. So in this game against the Oilers, 27 shots on net to the Oilers 24, 59% in the faceoff dot. Much of the credit there goes to Phillip Danault, who had 15 faceoff wins, 2 for 4 on the PK and 1 for 4 on the power play. Now, quick note here, Andrew Shaw may be returning sometime soon. He's been practicing, no contact, but it's likely he'll get the clear for contact soon. Once he gets that, maybe one more practice and he'll be back in game action. That is huge, especially with the potential long-term loss of Paulie Byron. So it will be good to see Andrew Shaw back in for us. Now, Habs' next game is against Anaheim on Tuesday at 8:30 Atlantic. Now, the Anaheim Ducks have really been struggling lately, but the thing is, they are a heavy team. They are a good team. They got a ton of good defenders. They got forwards who are underachieving but can definitely score. Getzlaf is always a major threat. I love watching him play. He's one of my favorite players, one of my favorite centers in the NHL. And of course, John Gibson, he's going to want to rebound really strong after allowing 6 goals on 14 shots in the first period against the Jets. So look for John Gibson to be fired up and to be looking to play at his best against Carey Price. Gibson was in talks for Vezina early in the season. He is a fantastic goaltender. We cannot underestimate the Anaheim Ducks, as all points from here on out are incredibly crucial. So that's about it, guys. I love our squad, how they're built from top to bottom. The future's bright. This season has been absolutely fantastic and fun to watch. Let me know what you thought about those last 2 games in the comments. Get in on this discussion below. Ask some questions. I'll answer some of them in the next video. And of course, subscribe if you like my videos. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at ScotianCanadien. Cheers, guys. Go Habs, go, baby!